Minutes, don't worry.
Yeah, but plenty of guys that need to be ready. We're the champions. You need to come take it from me.
You want to follow me in there next?
Yeah, I know you're ready. All we've been doing for 15 minutes.
Can you speak English better, please speak? Because I ain't sure what you said.
When I play all the big tournaments around the world, we only use Aramith and Simonis. You know, you're getting 100% high quality. It just makes the game easier to play. Simonis and Aramith definitely have the best cloth and balls, hands down, in the game.
We are guaranteed 4 phenomenal days of action right here in Florida. Drama is certainly guaranteed in front of a hugely raucous crowd. The American fans really get into the spirit.
Nineball fans all around the world. There's so much history, so much prestige, and it all comes down to this.
So much action lies ahead at the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida.
Very best in the world of pool descend on the West Midlands for what should be one cracking tournament. Warming up. Oh, you've got to be joking. He's actually played that shot. Yes, great shot, division. Robbie Capito unleashes emotion.
And welcome back to Telford. It's the second day of the UK Open, and a big feature of these early stages of the championship has been the involvement of celebrity competitors, as we might describe them. We've just seen Andy Goldstein defeated, but putting up a good battle on the main table, and now we're going to see Jack Dean, who we'll tell you more about in a moment, against one of the best players of the last few decades, Niels Feijen of the Netherlands. More to come on that, but there you can see what else is going on around the hall. In the early stages of this Wednesday in the English Midlands, Mark Bijsterbosch of the Netherlands, 3-0 up on the British player Matthew Hayden. Georgi Georgiev, steadily improving Bulgarian player, leading Liam Monk. That one's been closer than we might have expected at 8-6. AJ Manis, highly rated young Philippines player, level with Steve Boyle at 2-all. Skylar Woodward, US Mosconi Cup captain last year in Florida, leading Adam Clark by 2 racks to 1. So we'll keep you posted on those and all the other matches going on. And this is Jack Dean, and as you can see there, he's known as Jaackmaate. So he is a well-known figure online, a YouTuber and host of the Happy Hour podcast from Norwich. And fair to say, Carl, he doesn't exactly look too stressed going into his big day on the main table.
No, I have spoken to him this morning briefly. He said he's very, very nervous. The time has come, the day has come. Realisation has set in. Obviously, this is a big test. And you know, these podcasters, influencers, YouTubers, celebs, radio hosts, whoever it may be, listen, when you're out there and you've got the cue in your hand, it doesn't matter who you are or what you say, you are going to be feeling a little bit edgy.
Yeah, as we've said a number of times over the last couple of days, all these guys who've come in who aren't normally part of the scene, they practice for weeks, months maybe, leading up to this event. But it's a completely different story when you get out there on the main table. That's not to say that you won't be able to transfer your practice form, but it's a very big challenge, and we'll find out early on what his chances are of doing it. Niels Feijen, of course, so experienced on the main table and centre stage, Mosconi Cup legend, former champion of the world. And I wonder how Jack will have looked at this. Will he have seen it as, oh, I wish I'd got an easier draw, or this is great, I'm playing one of the biggest stars in the game?
Yeah, he said when he was told he was playing Niels Feijen, you know, he didn't know who Niels Feijen was, but he said, I seen he was Dutch. I knew I was doomed as soon as I knew he was from that part of the world, because he knows sportsmen, sportswomen from Holland. He just knew he was going to be up against it. So professional, and you know, when he met Niels, you could see how fit he was, and he looks after himself.
Well, Niels Feijen plays with enormous intensity and puts so much of himself into every single shot, and I don't imagine it'll be any different even in this. But look at that for the lag.
Well, I'll tell you what, Michael,
I think he should just walk off now. Leave it at that, because
I'd like to see all the lags that we've had so far this week on centre stage, because that might well be the best one so far.
By an absolute landslide he won it. And so, Jack Dean will start us off. First round match, still race to 9.
I spent about an hour with Jack about a week ago. Tried to get him to move his thumb onto his finger. He's not listened. He's kept it where it was.
So has he played much in the past, or was he starting more or less from scratch?
Yes, from absolute scratch. He's by no means any form of pool player. I mean, fair play for him to, you know, giving it a go. Spoke to Niels this morning as well, and we filmed a little kind of gloves off just about an hour before this very match. And I asked Niels in that episode, I said, are you gonna, you know, is it gonna be full steam Niels Feijen Terminator mode, or are you gonna have a little bit of fun? He said, well, I want to get a bit of a lead first before I start having a bit of fun, but yeah, I'll throw a few exhibition shots in.
This is fun for Niels, pulling an opponent apart. As I say, pouring everything of himself into every single ball.
Yeah, and he's got a bit of a shot to play here, though. He's got to make sure he gets past the 8 ball. It's easy to underhit this ball. Well, he's played it. Well, he's played this really good. What a shot he's played there. He's smiling because he's seeing a top-level player do it at speed, do it at ease.
Well, he might never have seen that up close. You know, a real top-class player actually hitting balls on a table, and just what that really looks like.
Yeah, I don't think he has. I think you're right. This one needs to go right, though, with the bridge. He's landed a bit short, Michael. Listen, we said this yesterday. I think it was when Barry Earn was playing. Doesn't matter who you're playing. 9-ball pool is a game where you keep your opponent in the chair. So it's all about what Niels Feijen does when he's at the table. Look at this. He's played a beauty here. This is absolutely spot on. It could have gone wrong, but it hasn't. What a rack here. Rack 1.
Niels Feijen in the opening rack, treating Jack Dean very mean, picking up off the dry break and seeing out the rack from there. The former world champion leads 1-0.
I think Niels should have given him a little look there and said, listen, Jack, mate, that is what you're up against. He gave him a little cheeky smile, though, didn't he? Look, I think realisation is setting. Yeah, he's waving the white flag already. He's a bit, like, concerned. But listen, in this match, Michael, we know Niels Feijen's going to break. He's not always going to get a shot on the lowest ball, which means he's either going to go for something crazy or he's going to play a push out. So, you know, Jack's going to get visits to the table. It's just, what is he going to do when he gets to the table? I've told him to try and chase the 9, if that's possible. So we will see at some point.
Yeah, that has to be the advice, because what are his chances really of running out racks with all the balls? Sometimes those opportunities just fall your way kindly. So we'll see how it proceeds. Niels Feijen, 48 years of age, champion of the world back in 2014. He's also been a 2-time winner of the World Masters. And it's not even as if he's some old guy who really can't play to a high standard anymore. In fact, he won a ranking event only last month in the US, beating no less a figure than Jaackmaate in the final. He's breaking with a 1-0 lead.
Golden break, is it? Well, it was certainly tracking. Okay, here we go. This is what I was talking about. This is the table layout for Niels. He's got a long, thin cut on the blue 2. Get a look in a minute where the red 3 is finished. Yeah, it's not bad, but he's still going to knock this ball in. It's awkward out of the pocket, queuing over that kind of leather bit. Oh, he's nailed it. Winning the tournament, winning the Super Billiard Expo a few weeks ago will have done Niels the world of good. You know, he's at the latter stages of his wonderful career. So just to get the win on the board, he'll have been delighted. Positional shot's gone wrong, Michael. He's got to get from the pink to the 5. That is brutal. Is he going to have a go at it? Swipe at something? Oh, wow. Listen, Niels Feijen doesn't play pool like this. Maybe he should start playing like this. He's running round the table.
Yeah, it's totally the opposite of what he normally does. Everything is sized up to the nth degree and doesn't play until the exact moment comes.
He's taking the mick. He could have just rolled that in the corner. Jaackmaate knows it. He knows he's taking the mick. It's actually not easy what Niels is doing here. You know, he's playing on the main table, and it's very easy to just bide your time a bit and play a couple of safeties, but he's not bothered. Ah, here we go. This is his bank. Okay, Jaackmaate, this is your big chance.
Yeah, not only that, chance to win a rack, it's a chance to be level in the match. As soon as the moment came, it has passed again.
I think that visit there will make Niels Feijen play a few more adventurous shots.
submitting to his opponent. He's sweating on the shot. There's a whole new meaning to sweating the action.
Right, come on, Jaackmaate. You're a tall fella. You can reach this. Just make sure you've got your aim right. Come on. Oh no, this is pretty tragic. Niels will have come into this match into the complete unknown, which is rare for a professional pool player.
Yeah, no more mercy shown when the chance was there to pot 8 and 9 to win the rack. So Niels Feijen now leads 2-0. Georgi Georgiev of Bulgaria on the hill. He's been pushed hard by Liam Monk. That one is 8-7. Rafael Martinez of Mexico. A name from the past, but back on the scene here. One away from victory over Antonius Kakaris. That one is 8-6. All first round matches we're talking about here. And the winner of this will play either Lin Ta Lee or Robert Hart. And it's Lin leading there, 3-1. Mario He, multiple World Cup winner with Austria. Level with Dimitrios Teriajevas of Lithuania at 1-all. Here it's 2-0 to Niels Feijen.
You know, joking aside, Michael, I think it is important Niels, you know, doesn't go too crazy with the crazy shots. Get a few racks on the board. He doesn't really want to be in here for an hour and a half, does he? Kind of messing about. That's not really his style. I thought Niels had to come into this match and play exactly what we used to, I won't lie.
Not quite been the story so far, but he is leading 2-0. He's made the one in the side.
I think that is the particular shot, the break shot, where he will give it his all. He will be focused because he's trying to find the sweet spot. He doesn't want to waste his time on the main TV table because at some point he might be back out on there. I think he's going bank, rippage, the full lot here.
Yeah, it's like a free shot really, isn't it, to go out on the main table and work on his breaking technique. You sense he's going to have many opportunities to break the balls in this match, albeit that he didn't get it in the opening rack after the lag was emphatically won by his opponent.
Yeah, he can get used to the speed of the table, the bounce. I know that sounds crazy because he's played in these arenas for, well, probably getting on 30 years nearly. But there's nothing like being quite out there. Okay, this is the thing I was talking about. I think he's got to chase the 9 here. The 3 balls next to the 9 ball. Give it a good old whack. He has done. I'm telling you, that's his game plan. It has to be his game plan.
He's clearly taken on board what you said. And although it didn't work out the way he wanted, could have turned out a good deal worse.
I know you said he seems quite relaxed, but I think it's quite the opposite. I think now he's out there.
Yeah.
He's thinking, oh my word, what am I doing?
All smiles, but it's the smiles of the condemned man. So as he comes back to the table, I do know that he's made a side wager with Andy Goldstein, who we saw in the earlier match, about the number of racks he can win. To win the bet, he's got to win 2 racks today. And if he does, he gets to present an hour of Andy Goldstein's radio show. the forfeit if he doesn't manage to do it. Something to do with getting a tattoo. I'm not sure exactly what form that takes. But I wonder if he could redefine the bet. Instead of having to win 2 racks, he has to try to pot 2 balls, because at the moment that looks like it would be quite a challenge. But maybe a little less so now.
Yeah, well, if he doesn't win 2 racks, he's got to get a tattoo of Andy Goldstein's face.
Oh, it's all Andy Goldstein
on his body. I said, that's brave, and he said, and then he started showing me some of the tattoos he's got, and yeah, he's got a few random ones, so I don't think it will really affect him. Well, he has potted 2 balls, Michael. Unfortunately, he wants the cue ball.
I'd like to see him arguing that would win him the bet. Okay, so at least he's had the experience now of putting a ball in the pocket, albeit that it was accompanied by a scratch. Yeah, the chance was there to play the billiard, and Niels Feijen was never going to turn that down. So Jack Dean did at least pot a ball in that rack, but as I said, he ended up not counting. So the 6-9 makes it 3-0 to the Dutch legend. Skylar Woodward is now leading 5-2 against Britain's Adam Clark in his opening match. AJ Manis of the Philippines has been pushed hard by Steve Boyle. Manis ahead, but only just at 4-3. Alexa Peshelj with a 4-1 lead over Kostiantin Ivanov of Ukraine. Peshelj, someone who's been a US Open semi-finalist in the past, as indeed Niels Feijen was just last year. So many good players, likes of Robbie Capito and Copigny along the way, and gave a decent contest to Fedor Gorst, the eventual champion. Featured in single elimination in one other matchroom event in 2024. That was at the European Open. Won a clash of former world champions with Ralph Souquet in a hill-hill finish to make it to the last 32, where he lost to Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. 3-0 to Feijen.
I think Niels was giving Jaackmaate a few tips and a bit of advice there while the ref was racking the balls. It's going to be a dry break, so he's back at the table. Unfortunately, he can't chase the 9 at this visit. That is going to be his only hope. Fluking the 9. Or another ball. Oh, that'd have been nice if it fell in. It's worth saying Skylar Woodward, who's currently 5-2 up on Adam Clark, he's actually using Billy Thorpe's cue, because his cue and his luggage did not arrive from the States. Apparently it will be here today though. So he's going along nicely with his buddy's cue.
For all those successes we've talked about with Niels Feijen, he's probably most identified with the Mosconi Cup. First played in it all the way back in 2001. And famously, he's the only man to have been MVP on 4 occasions. And 3 in a row at one stage, and only missed out on winning it again the next year, because Albin Ocean had played 1 more match than him. They were both 100% that week. Total, he's played in 14 Mosconi Cups for Europe. Only Ralph Souquet and Mick Immonen have been on the European team more. And he's the only European to have been on 8 winning Mosconi Cup teams.
Niels may smash this in the middle off the brown 7, just as a bit of a show-off shot. Not saying it will, but it's an option. He's actually cutting it in the bottom right. Look at this one for an effort. It's not going to work.
I'm still going to miss this.
Come on, a bit more positive talk. And he was wrong anyway. Okay, so finally, in rack 4, he's made a legal pot.
I mean, the pool might not be great, but the shirt looks very well. Happy Hour podcast on the back. That's his podcast. Big podcast as well. I know he's a West Ham fan, so that's why we've got the colours, the playing shirt.
Well, of course, for the first couple of years of this UK Open, we played it right next door to West Ham Stadium, down in Stratford. But he's getting hammered here today. Even Carl smiled with approval for that one. That has literally never happened.
Yeah, Phil Yates was pretty relentless yesterday with the one-liners. Is he going to full rail this? It's a bit of a trick shot you do in exhibition, or is he just going to slot it home? I would advise slotting it home, Niels. That's the way.
It is, and that is the route to a 4-0 lead. The upside for his opponent. It's his best rack so far. Let's see what else is going on. Lots of other matches in progress at the moment. Georgi Georgiev, ranking event winner only last year, been taken to a hill finish by Liam Monk. Matthew Hayden not faring so well though against Mark Bijsterbosch. Dutchman leading 7-0 there. Bijsterbosch, who was one rack away from winning one of these matchroom majors summer before last in Spain. AJ Manis getting a bit more distance between himself and Steve Boyle at 5-3, and likewise Skylar Woodward now 6-2 up on Adam Clark. Feijen will be hoping that over the next few days he makes single elimination for the 3rd time in 4 UK Opens. He missed out last year, went down to a surprise defeat to Stephen Ellis in losers qualification. He was last 32 the year before and made the last 16 of the inaugural UK Open 3 years ago. He's leading 4-0 here.
I wonder what he's really thinking, Jack Dean. You know, not many people get the opportunity to go out there and play on, like, you know, the main table in a professional Nineball tournament. I wonder what's really going through his mind as he plays one of the European GOATs, the Hall of Famer, Niels Feijen.
I would suggest his mind is probably quite a bit of a fog at the moment. Okay, but he's made that one now. He's got a chance at the 3, so this is to make consecutive balls for the first time in the match. And he's done it.
Yeah, also I know there's people online, I've seen it, where, you know, the hardcore pool fan not happy that, you know, these type of players have been put in the tournament. But listen, you know, we're trying to grow the sport here a little bit, you know. Jaackmaate, massive podcast, Andy Goldstein, talk sport radio presenter. You know, this is bringing all eyes to the sport, so this is great in my opinion.
Chance of another one. 3rd ball he's potted in this rack, and he's got a chance to add another one immediately.
Yeah, and I think at least he's slowing down a little bit. He's putting his efforts a little more into, you know, trying to aim rather than maybe just being a bit nervous early on and rushing the shot.
Yeah, that's the sort of shot that could have filled him with confidence if he'd made it, potting one from distance. TV programme back in the 1980s, In at the Deep End, where the presenter, his name was Chris Searle, was given these challenges to just go in and do something he had no experience of, and he was basically enlisted to learn how to play snooker, to go out and play in front of a massive crowd. And it was a doubles match, and on the opposing team was one Steve Davis, who at the time was not only the best snooker player in the world, but the most famous sportsman in Britain. There were hundreds and hundreds of people there, so it's got some similarities to that. As Feijen goes for another crowd pleaser. Oh, now that's his highlight of the match so far, surely, having to bridge over the 8. Made the 6 from distance.
How many balls are we on now, Michael? What's the ball count?
Count them up. It won't take a great degree of time.
Oh, is this going to be a hook? It is going to be a hook. I tell you what, if Niels Feijen doesn't hit the brown 7, I wonder if Jaackmaate will clock that he could play a 7-9 combo.
Well, if he was listening to your advice, I'll certainly take that on board. It's 5 balls potted so far in total.
Yeah, which he probably wasn't listening to my advice, let's be honest. Niels is having a little go at jump bank, I believe. He's not made it, so where's the 7 going to finish? Well, there's a bit of distance here. But if he knocks it in, Michael, if he can somehow just roll the brown 7 in, as long as he doesn't hit it too hard, he's going to be pretty good on the 8 ball. Not too hard. All right, really hard. Oh, he's going to put it over the pocket.
Niels Feijen, through a slightly unconventional route, puts it in the pocket. Well, there were a few brief moments there where it looked as though Feijen might actually end up losing a rack, but he has won it. And that is now 5-0. Rueful grin on his face. I'm sure he'll have set himself the target of just trying to get on the scoreboard, but it's one of those things that even if he doesn't manage to do it, I don't think there's anything much to be too critical of himself about. I suppose what helps in his situation, it's different to just an ordinary member of the public trying to go out and do this, because, okay, it's a very different sort of thing, but he is at least used to having attention, being in the spotlight, and those things certainly help and can be transferred to some extent to other disciplines. Fairly sure this is the first time we've ever seen Niels Feijen in a televised match going over and giving pointers to his opponent.
Yeah, usually you can't get a word out of Niels. I've had many a battle with him. You don't even look in your direction.
It is improving though for Jack D. He is though 5-0 down. Georgiev has survived that hill finish against Liam Monk. But all credit to the British player for taking it so close. Georgiev will now play Christos Papageorgiou of Greece in the second round. Ball in hand.
Well, this has turned into a Terminator college coaching session. Good to see, really, Niels. You know, it's good to see Niels' true personality. You know, we're so used to seeing the competitive game, but he's just showing what a nice, fun guy he really is.
Yeah, there aren't many people in the world of sport whose in-play persona is more at odds with what they're actually like behind the scenes. Always great fun to be around Niels. Over on table 2, AJ Manis is only just in front of Steve Boyle at 5-4, but as I say that, he's just taken rack 10 to lead 6-4. So a number of the British players putting it up to more revered opponents today. And indeed over the entire first couple of days here in Telford.
Come on, Jaackmaate. Pot this and chase the 9. The purple 5 is near it. There we go. We might have a bit of action here. Oh, can he just see the edge? He needed to come further to the right-hand side of the table, and he had a bit of action. Okay, Niels is trying his best. Oh, I won't believe a word he says, Jack. He's having you on here.
Dodgy cue, mate.
Dodgy coach.
As though he's entered the no mercy phase of the rack again. And Niels Feijen now leads by 6 racks to 0. Konrad Jususian, experienced Polish player, 4-1 up on Britain's Andrew Betts. Mark Bijsterbosch is now just 1 away from victory. Dutchman leads Matthew Hayden 8-1. These are first round matches. Lin Ta Li now 6-3 up on Robert Hart. Winner of that one plays the winner of this one. Mario He leading 5-1 against Demetrius Teriajavis. Skylar Woodward, a couple of racks away from the next round. He leads Adam Clark of Britain 7-3. Sanyan Pelovanovic 4-0 up on Sebastian Rodriguez, one of 5 Argentinians in the field. And the highly rated youngster Mika van Berkel with a 5-4 lead over Meshal Alali. But back here, it's a much more experienced Dutchman, Niels Feijen, who's firmly in control, as we would expect. And you know, he'll have seen some of the matches, or maybe been aware of them yesterday, and seen some of the outsiders, let's say, who have come in and won a few racks here and there. So you don't want to take too many chances. It's not finding yourself in a contest.
That was a great rack.
So his second dry break out of the last 4.
That was a great rack.
I think Niels potted a ball on the break there, and he didn't spot that he potted a ball on the break. I'd love to get another look at the break shot there, because Jaackmaate comes straight to the table.
Yes. Well, that's why I was calling it as a dry break.
because after the break, Niels went, that was a great rack, signalling that the referee had not done his best job, but on the initial replay, the balls looked to split okay. It just ended a little bit clustered.
Just to let you know what's coming up next, Fraser Patrick, who was on the main table here last year, will be back on it to play Long Duc Tien of Vietnam.
Yeah, I promise you that match will be a lot closer than the one we're watching right now.
Well, the opportunity's been given. Not surprisingly, he's calling his extension. Although, after thinking the circumstances, it might be better not to spend too long thinking about it.
Yeah, this might be his only shot at the 9, so make it a good one. Is it close? No, it needs to bounce though to make Niels forced into the bank, which he has, so this is not guaranteed.
Ja, probeer al de hele tijd natuurlijk. Ben ik weer terug, hè?
Okay. Okay. Wow. Made the 9.
This guy goes back, right? He's
And
got to
made
shoot it.
the cue ball.
Anywhere. Anywhere you want.
This is your big moment. Ball in hand. Nineball on the spot. Well,
No. Anywhere.
I'm still gonna miss this.
he's not confident.
Yeah, you can't be psyching yourself out of it, Jack.
I mean, I'd like to see him put the cue ball a little bit closer. He's made it!
And with that, the moment of celebration finally arrives. He's got a rack on the board. Feijen potted the 9, scratched as well. Really,
Oh yeah, one more is the line, right?
even given what we've seen so far in this match, there was only ever going to be one outcome to the rack from there. So there will be no whitewash. Jaackmaate gets one on the board. He'll be breaking in a moment. 6-1 down. So elsewhere, Do Tae Kien is on the hill, leading Salem Rashid Al Khaldi of Saudi Arabia, 8-3. And Mark Bijsterbosch has got the job done, 9-1 over Matthew Hayden.
9 on the break.
Just smash.
9 on the break, huh?
Romanian Christian Surdea just needs one more. He's been pushed hard by Christopher Bristow of the British contingent, 8-7 to Surdea.
I'm taking a photo of that. That's good.
And Skylar Woodward now also on the brink of victory, leading Adam Clark, 8-3. And just as I say that, he's added one more to win 9-3. And AJ Manis is now leading 8-4 over Steve Boyle. Manis pulling away after what had been a pretty close start to that one. Duong Quoc Huang, last year's Scottish Open winner, has a 4-3 lead over Niels Johanning of Germany. Second break of the match then. Let's see how this one goes. And he's made the one in the side. Well, it's more than Niels Feijen managed to do from his last break.
Does have a chance here. Has he fluked it? No. wasn't it, to develop.
A prolific winner of ranking events since the current system began with the World Nineball Tour and the ranking event circuit about 3.5 years ago now. That win that he had in the US a few weeks ago was the 4th such title he's won. I mentioned his run to the US Open semi-finals last year. Soon after that he got to the semi-finals of the International Open, which is a very high quality event, so plenty of good showings and strong fields over the last year or so. Well, Jack Dean did make a ball off the break, made the one in the side, which was another moment to remember, I guess. But the rack has ended the same way as most of the previous ones. It's gone to Niels Feijen, and he's 6 clear again. He leads 7-1. Konrad Yasushin now 5-2 up on Andrew Betts. Chen, experienced player who's done well in some of these big matchroom events in the past, leading Ireland's John Park by 7 racks to 4. And AJ Manus has gone through. He's just closed it out at 9-4 over the British player Steve Boyle, who gave him a pretty close contest early on. So Manus will now play Si Cha Chen if he can get the 2 more racks that he needs.
Save your energy for the next one.
Niels Feijen also looking for just 2 more.
Gone behind the 8. This is a nasty one. Even Niels Feijen can't help you here. How do you hit the blue 2?
Yeah, it's not looking really there, is it?
No, not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, always going to be difficult. I think Niels will just run the table here, and then we may see him have a bit of fun in the last rack.
dabbled in the entertainment world himself a bit over the years, Niels Feijen. I think he makes his own dance music tracks.
Yeah, enjoys a bit of the old DJing. Often at the Mosconi Cups, at the after party, you'll see Niels go on there, get in the DJ booth for half an hour or so.
Looked as though he might be giving up a chance late in the rack once again, but the 7 toppled over, the 8 has followed. The 9 on the side. Niels Feijen gets to the hill. He now leads 8-1. Victory for Do Tae Kien of Vietnam by 9 racks to 3 over Salem Rashid Al Khaldi of Saudi Arabia. That result just in. Christian Surdea of Romania has also won 9-7 over the British player Christopher Bristow. Mario He on the brink of progress to the next round. 8-1 now, he leads against Dimitrios Teriajevis of Lithuania. Back here, Niels Feijen needs one more.
This is the time we will see some exhibition shots now, unless he wants to get out of here and enjoy the rest of his day. That's the first exhibition shot. He's flew at a bank and nailed it. Now what's he got here? What's the option? The combo is brutal, by the way. Yeah, always going to be tough, that, Michael. Oh, he's had a pull roll. You don't need them, Niels.
You gotta go this way. In it here? Yeah. Decently from the sequence.
There, yeah.
Try to hit there.
Who'd have thought day 2 we would be seeing a live coaching session?
It's like one of those golf lessons you get where the coach actually comes out onto the course and plays with you for a few holes. Wager is still live as he looks for those 2 racks to win that bet with Andy Goldstein, but it does cross the 2 matches because of course he'll go to the 1-loss side, so even if he loses this rack he'll still just need to win 1 in that match. Moment it looks as though that match that he plays on the loser side will be against the American Robert Hart.
Get robbed here.
Might be a chance to win a few in that one.
Get robbed. Watch the cue ball, right?
Yeah, don't hit this full in the face, Jack. The cue ball will follow. Make sure you're at an edge. Oh, he's not happy with his hand here. Don't be flicking the 8 ball. Okay, there we go. Stay up. That's fine. He needs to hit this full in the face as hard as he possibly can. Try and bank it past the 9. May hit the 9 and fluke it.
He's gone full-on David Al-Kaidi mode now to try and get over the line. Suddenly taken on the air of someone who's remembered he's got a lunch appointment.
Is he going to play on the 9 and roll it in, or is he going to play a fancy shot? All depends on if Niels wants to get out of here.
Checkmate for Jaackmaate. He had a few moments to remember. He did manage to win a rack in the 7th, but in the end it's Niels Feijen who comes through amid the sort of atmosphere I doubt he's ever played in before on this sort of stage. Niels Feijen the winner, 9-1. And all handshakes at the end, all played very high spirits. And Jack Dean will be back later on to play on the one-loss side. Niels Feijen progresses into the next round. And so, the action will continue here on day 2 of the UK Open in a few minutes' time with a match between Long Duc Tien and Fraser Patrick. Phil Yates and Jeremy Jones will talk you through that one.